It's been over a month since Leroy got those massive buffs back in the 1.04 update, and now with the 1.05 update now live, where does Leroy stand after the recent changes? Now, he did not receive anything major this update, however, he did receive some good quality of life improvement and a small nerf, if you might look at it that way. But overall, let's talk about how Leroy is after the update, where he stands and how the changes affect him in this current update. Okay, the first quality of life improvement which Leroy received is the fact that you will not lose your pimp cane if you trade with your opponent. However, this only happens at the startup of that particular trade. If it happens a bit later, you will still lose the cane, which I'm not gonna lie is still annoying. I swear I picked up Leroy back into rank the other day, and on my first game this shit happened, right? So it does not entirely fix the problem, which sucks, but hey, it's a start. So this works for both his pimp cane, the low pimp cane, and the mid pimp cane as well. So it's not something major, like I said, it's a quality of life improvement. I have a feeling that we will make it better later on, because yeah, it's annoying to lose a tool that you can only use once per match. I think they just need to make it a fix for overall. Doesn't matter how late the cane comes out, if you trade, he still gets to keep the cane. It's not like it really affects the match in such a drastic way for them to actually just leave it like this, you know. So it does deserve some more fixes. Hopefully Namco do come through. Another quality of life improvement for Leroy is to his down forward 2 1+2 15 frame launcher. So before the update, if you hit this from the side of the opponent, you lost a lot of damage, right? But that has been changed to the point that the opponent always realigns themselves. So you get a clean launcher every time you land this down forward 2 1+2. This is a very good change. It's so good because before, dude, you lost so much damage because most Leroy players went for like 2-1, 2-1, 2, right? For the screw after the downfall to 1+2 from the side of the opponent. But now, whichever direction you hit your opponent with, you always get a clean launch. Now, this is good, but I still find Leroy's combo a little bit too inconsistent, especially his forward 2 to 2-2, right, to forward 3 1+2 3 screw. That route is still so inconsistent. It needs some kind of fix, maybe lowering the hitbox for his 2-2 or his forward 2 even a bit lower. But overall, this is a very good change. Leroy massively needed this. And what seems to be a nerf is to his down back 2 1+2 ground pound. So on block, it went from -13 to -16. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I've always thought this thing was launch punishable on block, or maybe that was changed in Tekken 8, but in Tekken 7, I do remember this thing could be launched if blocked. But anyway, it's been reverted. It's now launch punishable on block, which is neither here nor there. Honestly, you want to always land this on hit anyway, so it doesn't really affect Leroy that much. Furthermore, they have nerfed the recovery on hit. I think they added 5 more frames of recovery. Now, from my testing, you still get his orbital into ground pound after his just frame parry. Now, I might be wrong. I haven't seen any Leroy mains or any Leroy players talk about this. Maybe I'm just behind, but from my testing, you still get the full string, right? Orbital into ground pound down back to, guaranteed, unless something is different. The only thing that's different is his Oki at the wall. This is a general nerf to his wall Oki, because before you could get ground pound into like down, 1+2 or 3-3. If the opponent moved in any way, they could get hit. So it was a mixture between either the opponent stays on the ground or they get up and get hit. Now that has completely been nerfed. Whenever Leroy does his ground pound at the wall, you can't just get up and guess, right? It's better than, just getting up and getting hit or staying in the ground and getting hit. Right now, you have to guess. So that's the nerf that comes with this ground pound. Now, I might be mistaken on the punch parry because I did see Breadman actually go for dash up into down back to 1+2 ground pound immediately after the parry, right? So maybe something is different, guys. Any Leroy mains, if you know what's going on with Leroy in terms of the nerf to his ground pound, please let me know in the comment section below. And the patch notes do say they increased the damage of his just frame parry. It does 45 now from 35 as a makeup to his nerf of the ground pound, which nerfs his overall damage after the parry, right? So unless something isn't right here, this is a buff to his punch parry because they nerfed his ground pound, which honestly makes sense. I'm happy they've still kept the parry strong. People are complaining that the parry was OP, but come on, man, how often do you land this parry? There are grabs in the game, so not that busted in my opinion. So I don't know. Leroy mains, please talk to me. Is this a nerf? Is this a buff? Let me know. So that's it, boys. Those are the overall big changes that affect Leroy in a sense in this update. Everything else is like adjustments to hitbox and all that jazz, but overall Leroy still remains the same. So now let's talk about where Leroy is in the meta right now. Has he fallen off? Where the buffs a little bit too exaggerated? Is he mid to low tier? Is he top tier? What is happening with the Wing Chun master? So firstly, let me start by saying Leroy is a good character. He is damn strong. He is strong, especially after the massive buffs this man received back in the 1.04 update. This took him from bottom 5 less used character right above like mid, right in the middle of popularity in the game, which is insane. So Leroy still remains strong. The only issue with Leroy is that competitively he is not used by many people, and I always stress this. Remember back in Tekken 7, Leroy was a top tier character at the end of the Tekken 7 lifespan, but even then, not many people played the character despite him being very strong. Chikurin used to do some mad work with this character. Chikurin was cooking with Leroy, bro, and everyone put Leroy in like top 5 or top 10 in Tekken 7, but no one played the damn character. And I'm seeing the same pattern right here in Tekken 8. The people that are playing Leroy right now are the loyal mains or the people that actually like Leroy. So someone like Breadman is playing Leroy, and Khan from Pakistan is playing Leroy as well. So guys, don't say that Leroy is bad. Leroy is a strong character. He is just not used. But what could be better for Leroy? I think the only thing left, in my opinion, from Leroy is a fix to his down forward 1. It needs to go back to -3. I think -6 is a little bit too much overkill. I get his extension is now good, down forward 1+2, going from -9 to -2. That was a huge buff. But again, it's mid-high, right? So it can be ducked, so that doesn't really affect him that much, but it's a huge change. Maybe nerfing his down forward 1+2, then making his down forward 1 -3 would make him a little bit better. Improved damage to his lows. His lows are so bad, bro. Like in terms of like neutral lows, I've always said his lows in stance are way better than his neutral lows, right? So just improve the damage on his neutral lows, like down back 3. That only does 11 damage. That's crazy to me. 11 damage. I get you can parry afterwards, but if you're baited, you can be launched, which is stupid, right? As you can see here. The classic parry from Breadman from down back 3. So yeah, maybe just a slight improvement to the damage on his laws. And finally, I want a power mid. Leroy does not have a power mid. You guys know how much I've stressed about forward 1+2 being changed to a power crush, being changed to forward 1+2 now. That was a huge nerf that no one talks about, because Leroy does not have any power mid right now. He does not have a king forward 1 or a king forward 3, right? Asuka forward 3, like a Dragunov back 4, for example, a Jin forward 2, just a power mid, like a good check. Even Raven forward 4, despite being -10, is still a very good check, right? So that's what Leroy is missing. If they only kept his down back 1+2 power crush from Tekken 7 and kept his forward 1+2 as well, that would change him so much in this game. Because, dude, it's not really scary to not duck against Leroy unless it's in your face, because it does have that orbital. The only thing you have as a power mid is upward 3, which is very mid. It's a very mid move, doesn't do much. Back 4 is like a tickle, right? Like you get hit by back 4, who cares? Forward 4 is decent. It's a good way to get in, but it's not a good check. So in my opinion, those are the changes that Leroy needs. But overall, he is a very strong character. And I don't want them to overbuff Leroy and take him back to the state that he was back in Tekken 7, being hated, being shitted on all the time. Like, Leroy is a very cool character, one of the best designs in the game by far, right? It's so good. So I just don't want him to go back to the state of where he was hated so much by the community and all that jazz. But overall, I think he's in a good place. I'll say this again. Not many people are playing Leroy despite him being good. Only the loyal people are still playing Leroy. So he's good. I won't gaslight it. I won't say he's trash. He needs more buffs, right? I'm not that kind of person. I speak honest words only. I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So yeah, Leroy is in a good place. I'm glad he got those massive buffs. They really put him on the map. So what do you guys think? Leroy means I know I have a bunch of you. I've gotten so many subscribers to my channel because of Leroy. Please talk to me. What do you think about our boy? Does he need more? Does he need less? You let me know. How good do you think he is right now? So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my channel. If you enjoyed my content, check out my Leroy content as well. I will break down this match, by the way, in my next video, so look forward to that. You don't want to miss that. So like, subscribe, and GG my boys, take care.